All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty powerful concept, the repentant mind. And we're going to unpack what that actually means by looking at this incredible story that brings the whole idea to life. But you know what? Before we get into all that, I want to start with a question for you. A question that puts you right in the hot seat, facing a truly impossible choice. One that kind of tests everything you think you believe. Just imagine that for a second. That person who has made your life difficult, who has been against you, suddenly they're completely powerless, right in front of you. And you're told, hey, the choice is yours. Do whatever you want to them. Seriously, what would you really do? I think most of us, if we're being honest, would be tempted to just end the problem right then and there. But we all face choices, right? And this ancient story, it reveals something absolutely crucial about the kind of choice we should make. Okay, so let's get into the story. It's this super dramatic tale from the Bible, and it features two really famous figures, King Saul and a young guy named David. So to set the scene, the situation between these two is tense. For years, King Saul has been hunting David down. He's just consumed by jealousy. So David's been on the run, literally fearing for his life. It's this long, relentless chase. But then, out of nowhere, everything changes. King Saul decides he needs a moment of privacy, and he wanders into the exact same cave where David and his men are hiding. The hunter has just walked, totally vulnerable, right into the hands of the hunted. Okay, now this is where the story gets really, really good, because this isn't just some random encounter. It's a massive test of character for David. You can just imagine his men, right? They're buzzing. They're whispering to him, "This is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for. God has delivered your enemy right into your hands. You can do whatever you want." The pressure is just immense. Kill Saul, and all their running and hiding is finally over. So, David gets up. He starts moving quietly through the dark, knife in hand, toward the king who has no idea he's even there. The tension is just, wow. This is it. The moment of decision. But he doesn't kill him. In this unbelievable act of restraint, he slices off a little piece from the corner of the king's robe and slips back into the darkness. Why? I mean, why on earth would he do that? Well, his reason is pretty deep. David tells his men he can't harm Saul because, despite everything Saul has done, he's still the Lord's anointed. Basically, he was the one God chose to be king. David is looking at a much bigger picture here, way beyond his own personal revenge or what he could gain from it. So this one action sets off this whole chain reaction. And it reveals that there isn't just one, but two different kinds of repentance, or two ways of having a changed mind. And what happens next is so important. The next morning, David goes a safe distance away and he calls out to Saul, holding up that piece of the robe as proof. He basically yells, "See? I could have killed you, but I didn't." And in that moment, it's like a light bulb goes on for Saul. He finally gets it. And Saul he breaks down. He starts weeping and admits, "You are a better man than I am." He realizes that while he's been trying to destroy David, David just repaid him with an act of incredible mercy. It's a huge admission. So here's where we see the two different changed minds. On one hand, you have Saul. He has a change of mind about David. He finally sees David isn't his enemy. But the bigger deal, the more important one, is David's change of mind. He had already made a choice to put God's purpose above his own personal victory. And this gets us right to the heart of our explainer. What is a repentant mind, really, based on the story? Let's just break down what was actually at stake when David made that choice. Let's just play this out for a second. If David had killed Saul, sure, people would have cheered for him. He would have gotten all the glory. But the kingdom, it would have been a mess, probably split into a civil war. Peace would have been impossible. But that's not what happened. Because he spared Saul, something way bigger took place. His act of mercy pointed to a higher principle. So God got the glory, and that single act started to heal the kingdom and put it on a path toward unity and peace. And that, right there, is what we're talking about. A repentant mind is that conscious choice to give a higher purpose all the glory, even when you have every reason, every justification to take that glory for yourself. To put it really simply, it all boils down to this choice. Do I get the credit? Do I get the win? Or does my action serve something greater, where a higher purpose gets all the credit in the end?
It's a shift, you know? It's moving from a place of personal ambition to a place of real humility. It's that quiet question we can ask ourselves: what is truly being asked of me here?
So the final question of this whole explainer is for you. In those moments when the choice is yours, when your enemy is delivered into your hands, whether that's a rival at work, a conflict at home, or even just a battle in your own heart,